Hi you guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Patience. To my existing subscribers, welcome back. If this is your first time here, be sure to click that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can continue to indulge in the Hot Bella experience. In today's video, I am going to be creating this gorgeous eye look using the new Naughty palette from Huda Beauty. This is a recent release from Huda Beauty, and I am already adoring this palette. There are 18 eyeshadows in this palette, and if I say this is a very unique palette, it definitely is. It's got several of those cream to powder formulas in this eyeshadow palette, but it also has this shade right here. And I have not ever encountered any eyeshadow like this one. This is a cream type of eyeshadow, but it has these little color beads in it. So it's a very unique shade. Let me swatch this for you guys so you can see a little bit of what I'm talking about. So this is what this shade looks like. And it feels very creamy. It's just a very unique and different type of eyeshadow. Let me try to build that up for you guys because it's gorgeous. It's just different, very different. But it is a very pretty shade of eyeshadow. The swirls in this palette is very different as well. Let me swatch this one here for you guys. This is what this one looks like. It too is a very unique type of eyeshadow, very pretty. It's got that blue purple type of flecks in it, so very pretty shade. This shade, the first shade that I showed you guys, is called Slippery. This shade is called Passion. Let me swatch one more of these swirl shades for you because they are so unique. How about this one? This one is called Hard. So let me swatch this one for you guys. So this is what it looks like, and very creamy. You can see that. This is Hard, this is Passion, and this is Slippery. And there's another swirl shade in here. Let's do this one. This one is called Prerogative, and it's very unique. This is what this one looks like. And I'm going to swatch it right here. And you can see that shade as well. These are all very gorgeous shades. Very gorgeous shades. This palette reminds me of the new nude palette that she released maybe about a year or so ago. And I had a few challenges with that palette in that there were some specialty shades in that palette that it took me a little while to get used to. And I think I ran into the same situation with this palette as well. But challenge or not, the eyeshadow palettes that are coming out from Huda, I am truly loving. I mean, everything from the New Nudes palette to the Obsessions palette to the Khaki Haze palette and now to this Naughty palette. Now, there are a few shades in here that remind me of the Nude Rich palette from Huda Beauty, but I compared those and looked at those and they're not quite spot on the same, but they're very similar. But either way, I think the fact that this palette has these swirl types of shades in it, again, makes it extremely unique, and it is definitely a collector's item in my opinion. So I'm super glad to have it. So if you guys would like to see how I created this look using the Naughty palette from Huda Beauty, then keep watching. My face has been cleansed, and I prepped my face using my Mario Badescu facial spray to tone my face. I then followed up with my SK2 Patera facial essence. I then moisturized my face using my Tatcha water cream, and I primed my face using the No Problem primer. So this came in one of my BoxyCharm boxes a little while ago, so I'm using this today to prime my face. My eyes have been prepped with my P. Louise eyeshadow base, and I am going to use this shade right here. This shade is called Hypnotic, and I'm going to use this brush. This is the Worker Pro from the Sonia G Pro Eye Set to apply this Hypnotic shade to my brow bone. This is a bit darker than I thought it would be. It looks so light in the pan, but this is showing up a little deep as a brow bone highlight. But let's pop another shade from this palette on top of it. Let's try this shade right here. This shade is called Flower Power. So let's take a little bit of that on this same Worker Pro from Sonia G and give us a little bit of shimmer, just a little bit. I'm putting this right on top of the Hypnotic. This is my first time using my Sonia G brushes, you guys. I am so excited about this. So far so good. I'm now going to use my Blender Pro, and I am going to use this shade right here. This shade is called Hard, and I'm going to use this as my transition shade. I'm going to tap out any creases that may have already formed on my eyes. This is a little bit darker than I thought that it would be. Everything about this palette is taking me by surprise so far right now. These shades are looking a lot darker on my eye than they are in the pan, but everything about this palette is unique to me at this point, right? The swirl and everything about this is so wonderfully unique. This eyeshadow palette also has that cream to powder formula. Natasha Denona does that. Charlotte Tilbury does that. So it's a really interesting formula. So I'm just going to build this up to my desired level of intensity. I am going to go into this shade right here. This shade is called Spicy, and I'm going to put this in my crease area. Well, I'm going to start off putting it on the outer V and sweep it into the crease area. And I'm going to use this Crease Pro brush to apply this shade. That's a pretty shade. I like that. Gorgeous shade. So pretty. I am now going to use the Builder Pro from the Sonia G Pro Eye Set, and I'm going to use this shade right here. This shade is called Please Me, and I'm going to place this on my lid. I'm going to start with the inner corner and work it out. Now, I did not carve out my lid or anything like that. I just wanted to see what these shadows can do, just taking them straight out of the pan right onto my eye. This Please Me eyeshadow may be one that works better with a finger, because it looks like with my brush it is actually scraping off a layer. Let me see if I can show you guys this. So I'm hoping you can see this. So this is the eyeshadow, but you see that little flake right there? That has come off of the top of the eyeshadow just from me trying to get it to stick onto my brush. So I think I may have to switch over to my silicone applicator. This is a gorgeous shade, but yeah, I think it's going to require either me using my finger, which I don't like to do, or using the silicone applicator. So let me switch over. I've got my silicone applicator here. Again, it looks really pretty on the lid. I don't have any problems with that, but it is a bit of a challenge trying to get this shadow onto the brush without it kind of flaking off. This is what it looks like when the shadow is applied to the silicone applicator. And it doesn't flake off, it doesn't do any of that. It just goes right onto the lid. I'm going to use my silicone applicator again, and I'm going to use this shade right here. This shade is called Tantric. T-A-N-T-R-I-C. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And I'm going to put that in the inner corner here. I want to add a little bit more brightness into this look. So this looks like to be a soft, creamy, almost iridescent type of gold. I'm using my Crease Pro again. I'm going back into this shade right here. This shade is called Spicy, and I'm going to add just a little bit more depth into the outer V and just do a little bit more blending, just to blend this together just a little bit more. I like having a little bit of depth or darkness on the outer V. just deepen it up just a little bit more. I'm going to use my Sigma E36 and I'm going back into Spicy once again, and I'm going to add a little bit more of this shade in the area where I had to manipulate my natural crease line. My eyes are done. I am now ready for my liner and lashes, and I will be right back. My liner and my lashes are done, and I am going to move on to my complexion, and I'm going to use the Huda Faux Filter Foundation. I'm in the shade Gingerbread, and I'm also going to use my two Huda concealers. I am in the shade Caramel Corn and also in the shade Hazelnut. I also wanted to mention I've already done my color correcting. I used my Touch of Pearl in the shade Candlelight under my eyes, and I used my Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer in the shade SX14 around my mouth area. I'm using my foundation brush from Real Techniques to apply my foundation. I am setting my under eye area and my entire face using my RCMA No Color Powder. I'm going to use a little bit of my MAC Fix Plus just to add a little bit more moisture into this look. I've added quite a bit of powder at this point, so I just want to make sure that I don't look too powdery. I'm going to warm up my base a little bit more. I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. I am in the shade Tan 3, and I'm going to be using one of the new brushes that I got from Sonia G. This is the Pro Buffing brush, or the Pro Buffer. So I am going to try this with this Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. Ooh, and I'm thinking I like this. I'm liking the way this brush is applying this. This is beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. And for this look today, I am finally going to use my Cover FX Blush Duo. This is in the shade Sweet Mulberry. I picked this up a little while ago from the Ulta. I think it was one of the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, I believe it was. But this is a gorgeous, gorgeous duo. So this is a blush and highlight. So this would be the blush and this would be the highlight. So very, very pretty. And I'm going to use this today. I think this is going to really bring this look around, pull it all together. There's lots of pigment that comes with this product, so it does not take much. I'm going to use my favorite highlighting brush, and I'm going to get some of this shimmer product on this brush. And I'm going to lay it right on top. That's pretty. I like it. It is time to smoke out my waterline, and I am going to use the Pencil Pro. This is from my Sonia G 5-piece eye set, the Pro eye set. And I'm going to go back into this shade right here. This shade is Spicy, and this is the shade that I've got going on all throughout this eye look. But I'm going to use this to smoke out my waterline. It didn't take much to get that done. The tip on this looks to be a bit larger than what I'm used to, but it works. But let me add a little bit of highlight in the corner here, and I am going to go back into the shade Flower Power. That's this shade right here. That's the shade that I used as my brow bone highlight, and I'm gonna add that back in just a little bit. I'm gonna use this same pencil brush, and I'm just gonna put this right in the corner here. Very pretty. It is now time for lips, and I am going to use one of the NYX Liquid Suede liquid lipsticks, and it's in the shade Brooklyn Thorn. And I'm not going to line my lips. I'm just going to go in with this lipstick straight away. This is such a pretty color lipstick. And this look is done. The Naughty palette from Huda Beauty is definitely an original type of palette. There are 18 gorgeous shades in this palette. This palette features the swirl type of shades and also those cream to powder type of textures that normally come from Natasha Denona or from Charlotte Tilbury. Huda is now giving that formula to us as well. These swirl shades are absolutely gorgeous. Passion, Slippery, Provocative, Hard, Flower Power. These are some of the names of some of these very unique shades in this Naughty palette. I am so glad to have this palette and add it to my collection, and I think that this look turned out beautifully. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye-bye.